Screen anyway. Raise it up.
Hey, Jackie.
Guess we're live.
Whoops. Oh, don't want that. No, you did it on your Facebook. Oh my goodness.
What?
You did it on Kurt Scheller.
Oh, I did? Oh, I guess it's still on there now. Huh?
My goodness.
Did it kill it?
Hey, PD Mac. Jump over to Funky Frets if you want to join our live. Kurt put it on the wrong page. So Funky Frets will be doing a live ukulele strum workshop. See you there.
Yeah, probably turn that other light off over there.
YouTube's live for now. So.
YouTube's live?
Yes.
Hello, live streaming audience.
Everybody can hear us?
Yep. Can you hear me now? Here we go. We got Betsy. Aloha. Sound and video are great. You must be listening to somebody else. Hey, who put the old man filter on YouTube Live? Is there a setting I could get rid of that old guy filter?
Old guy filter.
Old fart filter? What
Wait.
the heck is that?
Sit up.
All right, ready? Now you do have to see the
Yeah, the
chord
uke,
part, but
the
yeah. My uke adjusted.
whole- Oy. Ay, ay, ay.
My uke is adjusted to the riding high setting for videos. Like flood pant version of for the ukulele. So we got a lot of people signing up here. Good. Logging in. So Strums.
A little bit of an echo. Well, that's better than last time. We had no audio, so.
All right, there you go. Hold on 1 second. That's probably better, isn't it? Ready? I know I did a video the other day and Glenn commented on a really nice backdrop. We stole the curtains from the living room. Okay.
Oh, good, Rita. No,
All right.
no freezing this time or anything.
Yeah, everybody's ready. Good. Now, strums. What is a strum? A strum is the execution of a rhythmic pattern in a particular style in tempo. It's simple. It's harmonic in nature, where there's multiple notes sounding at the same time versus finger picking, which is more melodic. So, with that in mind, the biggest part is rhythm, but some fundamentals. Plus, let's found with ukulele, a lot of people you actually want to sort of come in this way, across, not straight in like this. If we come in crossways a little bit, our fingers will be set up for the upstroke really nicely. Now we automatically can get the downstroke. Even with beginners, they'll intuitively, when you tell them strum down with the nail of their index finger, they'll intuitively get that. Or you want to get a nice mellow sound, you can use your thumb. That's pretty much relegated for basic strums as the downstroke. But most people will struggle with the upstroke. They'll come two on the side and get the nail and hurt the finger a little bit. So I've been doing this lately with students. Is take your index and your thumb. So your thumb's not a finger, I got stuck. You got 5 digits, but only 4 fingers. So take your thumb, and I put it on the fingerboard here. Then I'll take my index finger, sort of just squeeze them like this. And then start with the upstroke with beginners. So just take your thumb, raise it a little bit, and take your upstroke and stroke up, and you'll automatically get the pad. Then reset it and use the down. So our downstroke, bright with the nail, just across the strings. But the idea of what we're trying to do is if we could pluck all the strings at once, when we strum, we want to get that. We don't want to drag it. It's like there's a dust bunny on my fingerboard. I want to flick it off. So I take my hand like this, like doing switch places. Like you put your finger up, switch places, and then I'm going to stroke that down. A little slight twisting of the wrist, a motion from my elbow, and that's my downstroke. So you can actually do this to work in time. You can break out the metronome if you want, set it at a nice slow tempo like 60, or just count evenly. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That was not evenly. Are you lagging from here to here?
Yeah. I know there's a delay with YouTube and Facebook that you hear, but I didn't think there was a delay locally next to me.
This way. You said 1, 2.
So
three,
I'm going to just
4.
grab the. Let's do this. Let's grab the muted chord first, which is just our fingers flat across all 4 strings, touching them lightly and don't press, and then take your index finger. We're going to go with that bright stroke and just stroke it like 4 times. Inevitably, you might have done it in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's funny when you're doing these live streams and videos, you can't look at the monitor. There's a delay there also, even locally. Slight delay will mess you up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I get all my students every single time on this. I tell them without stopping, slip into a C chord. Every one of them stops, but that's fine because you had to think about what was going on next. So let's grab a C chord. And this is a quarter note strum. Just down. Now you can play C with any finger you want. I'll typically use whatever depends on the musical situation. I might use 1, 2, 3, or 4. Hey, Jim Brady, how you doing? I'll use my pinky because I want to set myself up comfortably to go to the next chord. Because we can sort of stretch our pinky and first finger away from our second and third finger. We can do our second and third finger if our fingers are like this, but if they're curled, it's really hard to stretch these fingers apart. Their tendons share a sheath in their hands, so it's really hard. So even when we do more finger drill exercises like stretches and stuff, we avoid 2, 3. We'll stretch 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 4, but not 2 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. 2 and 3 do not like to stretch. So same thing applies with chords. This to me is a little bit more comfortable versus this. I could feel the stretch in my hand a little bit. Versus this, I had to turn my hand to get my finger 1 ready for A minor. So it turns out 1 and 2 work really well. So I'm going to play like just basic C, F, and G7. You can do that home version. Because there's a delay, we can't do it together. Plus, I can't see you.
I need my wing for G7.
Yeah, no wing. We want no chicken wings on chords. The music is from here out. Right? Nothing back here. Everything back here is a support man, person, lady, Homo sapien behind the curtain. So, quarter note strum. Just count it off. Even count yourself off. Just count to 4 evenly. Then come in on the next one or count 2, 3, 4. And just count yourself in. I see this happen a lot in meetup jams. We did what? You did one, we switched to a chord. We in jams, I see it all the time. People will not count songs off. They'll just start, and then we have to catch up as the participants, and it takes like 2, 3, 4 beats, maybe a measure or 2 to get the sync of where things is. So you just sort of do it in your head, count it. And also, I'm a pet peeve for this. It's not a race, so don't do this, please. Don't do 1, 2, ready, go. That's like a race, man. I want to win.
Oh, go. Go is the buzzword.
So we tell people, come in on the 1 and count 2, 3, 4. Right? You might get a wiseacre in there if you can't say, come in on the 1. 1, they'll probably jump in right away. Yeah, C, F, and G7. Easy chords. Anything that you can switch easily.
I thought we were doing it all
together.
Yeah,
we can't do it together, so.
What? Yeah, they can. They can play with us.
Yeah, quarter note strum. We're delayed, aren't we? Oh, they can go along. That's right. Yeah. That's funny.
They don't know we started 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's funny. So,
usually I have the dog comment.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, dog. Okay. Yeah, well, we don't know it's not live on the audience, right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
C. F.
G7.
G7.
C. Somewhere keep track.
F.
Stop on C. Right. So that's your basic downstroke pattern. Now, downstrokes are usually indicated in music. They will use the violin bow markings for down. It looks like a staple pointing down because it comes from guitar. They had no pick stroke indicator of their own, so they used the violin bow markings. And the up looks like a down pointing V, so that messed me up for years. So finally, I just equated the down to a staple pointing down. Or you can write down, write the word down, write D. Down, up, down, up. Use an arrow, down. Use an arrow, up.
Jackie's laughing at you.
She is. What? Now, that is the only gravitational reference that we can use in music that applies to our earth orientation. That's up. This is down. Everything else, we try to do music. So this is actually going up because each note got higher. But the pick stroke is down or up. That does equate to gravity. So now, so we know what a strum is. The execution of a rhythmic pattern. That pattern was just simply 4 quarter notes. If we did it in 4/4, let's do it in 3, and we'll count to 3 each beat. So this would be like I know the band had a song, The Last Waltz, I think. I don't know if that was the title, but it was in 3, but it wasn't 3/4. So this will be in 3. We'll count to 3 and then start. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go to F. 1, 2, 3. Go to G7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and stop. So no matter what the time signature is, if it's a 4 underneath, it's just quarter notes. Let's do 6/4. Ooh, that's pretty rare. I don't think I've ever played that. Let's do 6. I'll count to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Give yourself a star if you kept with us with the 6. That means you were counting somehow, even externally or internally. All right. So it could be any time signature. Most common that we all run across is 4 and 3. All right. Even some more advanced stuff that we're going to do later on in the workshop, not advanced, but different time signatures. Long day. We will still equate it to counting in 2 and 4. So quarter note strum. Some other strums that are along that works very well in a ballad are sustained strums. So using that count to 4, you can play on the 1 and let it ring through 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll have to count. Otherwise, you'll have no idea when to come back in. You need an external time source or use your own internal time source. So let's do that sustained strum. Basically, if we're doing 4 beats, we're playing a whole note. So ready? So I'll count to 4 again, and we'll start. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go on to F. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the G7. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the C. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chinese. E, San, Su. Any language you want. 2, 3, 4. No echo. Good. There's an echo of a 3-second echo. Yeah, that's technology.
Yeah, weird. I just checked my iPad and there I don't have an echo. I don't know.
Is there an echo now? Echo now? Echo now?
Oh, stop that.
So sustained strum. Let's sustain it for 2. So they're called half notes for the musical people. So we'll count to 2 twice for 4 beats. So 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now to F. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's it. Pretty simple. 3, 2, 4, 1. We already did quarter notes, right? You can mix them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. This is good on a ballad slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in music, usually the pulse is not this steady stream, monotone kind of sounding music. There's usually beats are accented. Think of like a drummer playing behind the drums. They're whacking one of them drums harder than the others, particular points in the beat. So they're accenting beats 2 and 4 called the backbeats. So we can accent the backbeats 2 and 4 just by hitting the strings louder or not hitting all of them. So the accent just means something's sticking out, right? You can see it compared to everything around it. So it could be either more strings for beat 2 and 4, like. So I'm just hitting like the lower strings, then hitting them all on 2 and 4. If you can mute.
And lower strings, you mean?
Yeah, lower.
4-3,
yeah,
G,
4-3.
C.
Yep, you got it.
Petey Mac calls that his bum ditty. Bum ditty. I like his term.
It's just called an accent. Yeah, let's stick with music.
Or
now.
bum ditty. I like bum ditty.
Now that's a different strum. Bum ditty, bum ditty, bum.
Oh,
ditty.
faster.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah. All right, we'll get into all that. It's a strumming workshop. We might do a couple of weeks of this. All right, so there's a sustained strums, just letting the note ring and sustain. Right, that's pretty easy. Now we'll do a lot of them on slower songs, and they can be mixed with what we're doing next is the rock strums. This is where we're going to do something. We're going to strum on the upbeat also. We're going to do what we call rock heavy first. We're going to strum down on the upbeat as well. So it'll be like this. And you have to count this. Otherwise, if I did it without counting or letting you know where the beat, where the pulse is, like 1. Right, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And
She had 2 browsers open. That was why there was an echo.
So
Mystery.
now, so I'm gonna do like I'll demo once. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 All right, that was all down. Now, usually you'll do that accompanying somebody else where the pulse is really defined and we can keep track of where the 2 and the 4 is. Otherwise, you got to really count it like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now, there's a little demo. When we're listening to music, we're trying to really discern where that pulse is in the music. And the pulse typically does, a lot of times it does line up with the actual downbeats. So if I played this, and you can walk it in, you have no idea where the beat is at all, let alone the pulse. Now, if I start accent, you might discern that, okay, he's accenting the beat 2 and 4, but you have no idea which one's which. Now you got it, beat 1. So the moral of that little exercise is if you can find beat 1, you can orient yourself with the music of what's going on. Lose track of beat 1 and you'll be lost. So you got to count yourself in. So that was all down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So I just did some variations. All I did was skip some of the ands or skipped any stroke and just kept it going. So that's a rock heavy. That's for a good, nice, loud situations. Here's rock light. You can instantly get rock light
Ignore that.
by doing an upstroke. So this is the down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, see, this is really prevalent on the internet. How do people typically learn their first strums? The person on the YouTube or the video says, okay, here's our strum. Well, what's the strumming pattern for this song? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? Or it gets worse than that. They'll try to say like this, using chunking and muting. Down, up, chunk, chunk, up, down. It's like, what? What did you just say? So what's the reason for using down, down, up? Well, as we would learn in a lot of my other videos and workshops and stuff like that, is that these fingers here, they cannot see or hear a thing. So they have no idea what to do. So sometimes you have to send verbal commands to them because our downstrokes are inherently heavier than our upstroke due to gravity, which is good. We get that for free. Now your upstrokes, you could make them louder if you wanted. I've seen videos online. The first song I ever learned, a little sidebar, first song I ever learned by ear was the Royal Guardsmen's Snoopy and the Red Baron. I learned it by ear. Took me a while, but I learned it. You know, it's just simple, easy 1-4, 1-5, easy chords. So I was telling a student about it once. I said, let's go on YouTube and look it up because everything's on YouTube. And sure enough, there on YouTube was the Royal Guardsmen on some old show doing that song, Snoopy and the Red Baron, and the singer guitar player in the band, he was left-handed, but he didn't switch the strings over. So his downstroke was his upstroke, and he was making it louder, like doing this. I'll demo. I can do it now a little bit. I'll go upside down. Like Kelly's left-handed, but she plays right-handed. I was left-handed till first grade. So I am going to that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Right? Yeah. I'm fine. I'm doing it perfect.
We just lost
1 and 2 and 3. I'm doing it fine. I'm counting evenly everything. But even on the high G ukulele, we are used to hearing those low notes as the bottom coming out microsecond first. So the downstroke sort of gives us that. So see there, I'm doing it backwards, and it just doesn't sound right. Rhythmically, it's in time, I think. I hope. But I think it was. But our downstrokes. So sometimes we actually have to tell our fingers, okay, down, up, down, up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now, usually if we're just doing continuous down and up, they can do that pretty easy. They won't get mixed up. It's later on when we start to miss some beats and stuff like that. All right. Now, I get distracted by the technology going on. Oh, look, squirrel. Ready? Now. So just say it if you have to. Down, up, down, up. So let's do the same C, F, and G7. 4 beats each, just strumming down and up, alternating down and up. And we can make the beats 2 and 4 louder if we want to. So 2, 3, 4. Now let's get fancy. Let's do C, F, C, G, or G7, doesn't matter. So 2, 3, 4, C, F, C, G, or G7, C, like hundreds and hundreds of songs already. So that's our basic rock heavy and rock light strums. All right, checking my notes. Now, variations. Now, you can study and write the rhythms out and hit like every possible strumming rhythmic variation if you want and be very consistent. It's like learning the alphabet. You don't want to miss or skip letters. Or you can do what we're going to do next. If you're doing down and up, you can simply miss any one of those downs and ups, and you'll get instant variations. So I'm going to do the rock heavy once through C, F, G7. I'm just going to skip some of the strokes. one 2 measures long. All right. So I just missed some randomly. It doesn't matter which ones are which. The only time you might have to be precise in which ones you miss is if you're playing in an ensemble situation with other people and you had to play a very particular line. All right. Down, up, chunk up. Oh, oh yeah, stand on your head. Okay, ready? Now, so strumming, so down, down. If you're doing all downs, it doesn't matter which ones you miss. Usually you'll be fine. You won't turn the beat around. This next thing, this is where the beat can get turned around by accident. And it just takes a half a beat for the music to feel like it's out of sync with somebody listening, and even yourself. So we're going to do the rock light. Down, up, down, up. And we'll start. We'll just do it once through. C, F, G7, C. So 3, 4, just down, up, F, G7. A good point here too is that if you're playing along with somebody else, is to really know the chords and to trust that you're playing it in time. And if you have to look at somebody else for when the chord switches, guaranteed you're going to be a little bit late because you got to wait for them to switch before you do it. So you're going to be late. And if you propagate that across 40 people strumming in a group, it's get a little hairy there. And if they play a wrong chord, whoever you're looking at, you're going down that road too. So it's like this. It's so funny. Everybody will laugh at this. You play these songs, and everybody's going along really good, and all of a sudden there's a B minor 6, and it's like, oh man, there's hardly no sound for 4 beats.
Where did everybody go?
Yeah. Then they come back. So back to the down, up, down, up. Now I'm going to just demo it once, and I'm going to just skip some of the random ups. I skipped a random down, didn't I? Well, let's just jump ahead. We'll skip down or up. Doesn't matter. This is hard to keep track of. I'm tapping my foot when I'm playing here. So think of it like this, to keep that down and down up pattern in sync with the beat. Pretend there's like a really thin thread tied to your foot and your strumming hand. And if they get out of sync, you're going to break that string, and that split second, 1/2 of a beat, you can turn the beat around. I'll demo it now. I'm going to mess up. You'll hear it. Right? You heard it, right? It was in there somewhere. Just something sounded wrong. It's like meeting that person that something wrong with that person. I just can't put my finger on it. So, problem was, the instant I strummed down on the downbeat, which is good. But then at one point I switched to strumming up on one of the downbeats, and that split second, that half a beat, that came out of sync with what you were listening to. So sometimes you got to go back to the fingers then. Say I want to miss the up of 2. So I'm going to do it like this. Down, up, miss, up, down, up. So I'm doing miss. All right. So that's one of the famous strums anyway. I'll play it fast. I'll point out something. You might have not noticed it, but sometimes I played my C with my 3rd finger, depending on where I was coming from, like from G7. But then I switched to my pinky in the middle of strumming so I could be in a better position for that. So you can play the C chord. The ultimate version of switching is this, which I would not advocate doing. Right? So silly. You might do it for fun when people are watching you play or something and just see if they can catch on. Well, you should be able to do it, but you don't have to do it. Now, so you say miss when you want to skip a downstroke. Because when we do 4 downstrokes, do this trick question to my students. I ask them, count my strokes. Ready? And I said it's a trick question, but inevitably some of them will say 4. I said, no, it was 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. The upstrokes count. They're just not making any sound. So if you're going to miss one of those strokes, you have to still do the stroke. And sometimes you have to add an additional verbal command to your hand. In addition to the down and the up, you have to tell them to miss. So down, up, miss, up, down, up. You can get to extreme of this. I had one student, adult, when she said miss, she had to really, it was like really a verbal command to her hand. She did this. So your miss and your ghost strokes, they call them sometimes, they're still in tempo. If you're missing one stroke, you're still doing the full distance of the stroke. Now, if you're going to miss a down and up consecutively, you might stay on either end of the instrument depending on where you're at. I'll do a demo here. So sometimes you'll see somewhere I'm going to keep count. I might be doing a little mini stroke here. You might see my finger just rest, waiting. Then I move the count to somewhere else. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So I'm going to do down on the down beats, and you can do down or up on the end beats. It's as simple as that. The concept is simple. Hearing it is simple when it comes out correctly. But remember, they can't see or hear a thing, so they might need guidance. And you have to catch them fast. Right?
Yeah.
Just nod your head yes in agreement. Good.
Do you hand out emails for this one too?
Yeah, we'll send you a handout. This is all coming from just type this in because there's videos demonstrating a lot of the next strums that we're going to do. We're going through a lot of strums. It's just type in learningukulele.com/strums. That's it. As simple as that. It'll take you right to a whole series of videos that will demo these strums. And the next one is 12/8.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, a lot of them. They're old strums too, but I have some new ones. If you go to the series, like not Funky Frets. learningukulele.com/series. So a whole series of lessons because I have
the whole book.
Yeah, I have a whole book too. I wrote a book. I adopted Chuck Anderson's
to ukulele strums.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm reaching the Facebook camera, but anyway.
There's a lot there, but basically it comes down to rhythm and counting. Music is melody. That's where we sing and whistle, and a lot of famous players had said. Frank Vignola, famous jazz guitarist, young guy out of New York. He says, learn 200 songs, learn the melodies to 200 songs, and you'll have no problem improvising. Joe Pass, a famous jazz guitarist, said, learn the melodies, learn the melodies. Nobody goes down the street whistling chord progressions. That'd be really hard to do, right? So melodies are king. So melody is one element of music. Harmony, the chords, multiple melodies together, simultaneous or chords, a harmony, that's another element. Those we're pretty familiar with. We play chords, we sing or play melodies. Rhythm, the often neglected third element. Melody has its own rhythm. Harmony, chords has its own rhythm. So rhythm is intertwined into melody and harmony, and rhythm is a subject of its own. Drummers deal totally with rhythm a lot of times. Right now, so I'm going to play a song for you. It'll be a recognizable song. You didn't really recognize it, did you? Right?
Sounds like a regular family singing happy birthday, right?
Yeah. So the rhythm was off, wasn't it? What happened? Sounds like how I sing it, right? Yeah, the melody was off. Darn, man, you got to get them both right. I messed up the end. I did pretty good till then, though. Right? Yeah, see, all right.
No rehearsal.
Yeah, no rehearsal. No net. There was no net.
Nothing
Right?
catching.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So melody, harmony, rhythm. So rhythms intertwined everywhere. And at the start of the workshop, I said, a strum is nothing more than, that's right, that was
What?
a mixolydian.
Oh, my mixolydian. I was like, what are you
Right
doing?
now, so on to 12/8. That is based off of a time signature. In music, a time signature is that little fraction-looking number at the beginning of a standard music notation. They don't have it in tab, where the top number indicates the number of beats in a measure. Then the bottom number indicates the type of note to receive a beat. So 12/8 means there's 12 beats in a measure, and the eighth note receives one beat. So here's a C, A minor, F, G7 performed in 12/8. I'm going to count it in 12/8. I'm probably not going to play it all the way through. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's a lot of counting.
I lost count there on that third chord. But luckily, 12/8 in contemporary music styles that we're going to learn, we do not count it as 12/8 notes. It's written as 12/8 notes, but we interpret it as 4 groupings of 3. So we interpret it as 4 beats, and we will subdivide each beat into 3. Now I don't have my, oh, here we go. I do have a demo here. Now, so 3 is like a triplet in music. It's 3. So we're going to count 3 like we would count anything that we have 3 of. Here's 3 guitar picks. I usually have like coins I would use. 3, right? 3 picks. So if I asked you to count how many picks I had, we would have 3, right? It doesn't matter where they're at. If we want to count these 3 items and they're over here, there's still 3. Over here, there's still 3. Over here, still 3. So 12/8, you'll hear people try to do it like this. I can't really do it. I'll demo until I mess it up. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2. I bailed out because it was a tongue twister. So we just want to do 3, 4 times. So we're going to count it like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, so we recognize that strumming pattern immediately as a million songs written in the 50s. Doo-wop, right? So we're going to count to 3, 4 times, and we're going to switch. We're going to do the 1, 6, 4, 5 chord progression, the famous 50s chord progression. It was the most common chord progression up until maybe about a decade ago. So I'll count it off. So we would count to 4 to count it off. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. G7's coming up. C, A minor. You play that chord progression for a collection of old geezers, 20 old geezers in a room, you'll probably get 30, 40 different songs to be thinking about. So that's a lot of songs. Now, I noticed at one point, I didn't really do it because I did a little bit of it, started to look distracting on the video. If you sway when you count to 3, like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, oh, right? It helps you keep time. If it's even beats like 1 and 2 and you headbang that. Can't do the other though. You can't mix them
Can't
up. You
do
can't handbag
1,
on the
2,
3.
1.
1, 2, 3. We can't do 1 and.
Oh, so wait, they were C, A minor,
Yep, the old 50s chord progression.
F.
Numerically, they
G7.
would call it. It could be G or G7. Doesn't matter.
Betsy beat me.
That's Betsy Manning's favorite chord progression.
She beat
She
me.
calls it the Betsy calls it the magic chords. It was the most common chord progression. So numerous you don't have to list all the chords written. Now you can do it with the most common chord progression used nowadays, which is the they call it the 4-chord pop chord progression. We could do C, G, A minor, F. This is the chord progression, the 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression. They call it the 4-chord pop chord progression. I have a list on my iPad of about 60 to 70 songs that use that chord progression. And we can do that in 12/8 if we
What'd
want.
you say? C, G,
So
A
C,
minor.
I'll play it once. G, A minor, F. Right? Sounds a little weird because we're sort of expecting the other chord progression with that one, but just count to 3 over and over. After a while, your counting will become totally ingrained.
I try not to play G in front of you.
Yeah, no, that's right. She does a different fingering. You can G any way you want. You can do G with a bar in the first finger, a bar in the third finger. You can use 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Right?
That's
about it. So the only firm criteria you have to use, and everybody's heard this joke from me before, is use any finger you want as long as it's your own. You can use these if you want.
Who was I watching?
Ready? Let me see how we do it like this. Ready?
Oh, D.
Switch hands.
D from. D from Chestnut Grove was doing a live thing for her birthday, and her girlfriend put a clapping track that she'd play on her phone after every joke. Or no, after every song she'd do. That's what we need, a button. We need a laugh track going.
Yeah, somewhere if you're on the iPhone or something, you can send the hearts and all that stuff streaming up and down.
I
Now,
sent myself a
make
heart.
sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know, we'll get to like over 100 now, but
Woohoo! Our inactive YouTube channel that we're trying to revitalize. Hey, Little Rev just popped on.
Little Rev, I was thinking of him the other day. I was going to get my unicycle out and we can have a duo. Him and his pogo stick and harmonica, and I'll do my ukulele.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that. He had his pogo stick and harmonica.
I think the unicorn might be harder to do.
The unicorn.
Unicorn, unicycle. Unicorn, yeah. Oh, there goes
This
one.
is why Kurt can't do videos by himself. Was that this stream or the one at 2 o'clock where you didn't realize they said they can't play with us because there's lag?
Yeah. I said we can't play along together because
there's a lag. I said you can still do it. They start.
It's like
watching
watching the news. We don't know there's a 7-second delay until they beat something, right? Now,
let's sing a song with it.
On that 12/8,
Debbie wants to sing
the beat's
a song.
subdivided in 3. You can sing along all you want. Remember, there's nobody else in the room with you. Maybe. Yeah, let it be for the.
Let it be. I don't hear singing. He's beatboxing.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't sing. You know, I know there's some words here, but I have no idea what they are.
I don't know the words. It's terrible. Let it be.
Yeah.
Should I get the
Mother Mary, there's just something in there. No, we're not going to sing it.
We got to start singing.
We will sing sometime. Like, come and sit by my side.
Debbie, this is why we don't
We're
sing.
doing this is a strumming workshop, right? You
We'll
want to get
sing
the
one
strumming
day.
down, then you can sing all you want, right?
We're swinging
right.
from chandeliers.
Ready now. So the 12/8 beat subdivided in 3. I was strumming down, down, down each beat. I was doing all downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can also accent every other beat. 2, 3, 4. Back to the 50s progression. F. You can even do play with fancy jazz chord progressions. Here's E minor. I'll yell out the chords as we play it. E minor. F sharp minor 7 flat 5. Okay, that's hard to yell out.
That's where I drop my uke and pretend to play.
Right, B7. Right, you can do that. The strum works on any songs. Some of them will end up sounding like maybe Muzak, not that great. But
Muzak.
I was doing all down. Now you can strum down, up, down. That's another variation, like down, up, down, 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 down. Right? You can strum down, up, up, but it actually sounds like you're playing a waltz. Sounds like each of the 1, 2, 3 was one measure of 3/4. So that one doesn't work so well.
Your grandson just commented from the living room. He's
Yeah.
surprised you're not in the loony bin.
Unless you accented it. Now you can also strum just down and up, but you really have to accent every one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's stress. You can start with an up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That actually works pretty well because then your downstroke is going to be on beats 2 and 4. I never did that before, but that sounds pretty good.
Reb said, what about a merengue strum?
A lemon merengue strum? I thought that was a pie. Lemon merengue. I used to play.
No, he didn't say lemon merengue. You
No,
added
he said
lemon.
I added the lemon. Merengue. Yeah. I used to know that strum. I have it written down somewhere. Some things you just don't play for decades, you will forget them. But other ones like bossa novas and cha-chas and different stuff you won't forget. All right, now, so 12/8. So I like the down, 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 or the down, up, down. Because those you can internalize pretty quickly and not have to really think about it. Now, next strum. We're going through a lot. So again, sometimes this might be if I was doing private lessons with somebody. I think we're probably into like 6, 7, 8 weeks worth of lessons already. Because you'd work on this, do a lot of chords, refine it, explore variations. Now, here's a shuffle. Now, some people can't shuffle. Here's how you teach the shuffle strum. First, you teach the 12/8 just like I did.
Yeah,
A 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right? First, you teach them 12/8. They can get that. They can count it. Then you say, okay, learn. Here's the next strum. Shuffle. Play it. See if you can play it like this by rote. Right? And they might get it. And even if they do get it, I would tell them this. Sometimes I'll say this. You might have a friend you want to teach this to sometimes, and you'll teach it to them like this, and here's what they'll do. Like, so I'll pretend somebody said, here's the shuffle strum. Mimic this. And I'll say, okay, ready? They might just play it straight and not give it that swing shuffle thing. But no, this is it. Then you say, okay, I got it now. No. Do it to count. Go back to 12/8. Play down on the 1, up on the 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There, then you got it. You can teach them the shuffle. I'll tell you one little story here. I was studying jazz guitar with a fella, and I lived like an hour away from my lessons. So one lesson we came up across a quarter note triplet, 3 quarter notes in the space of 2 beats. So we would play it, and he would teach it to me in the lesson, and I'd get it. I'd drive home, try to play it, and I didn't get it. It'd be like this, like playing, like. I had to get out of the 12/8 style. But he would teach me the quarter note triplet, and I wouldn't get it. I'd drive home a half hour, I'd try to play it, and I couldn't get it, and I had no way of accurately reproducing it. So I started studying with Chuck Anderson, and when we hit the quarter note triplet, he wrote the count for what it was. Well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? So I was able to get it in the lesson, and more importantly, I was able to drive home, try to play it, and not have it. But I had a way of reproducing it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So same thing with these strums. You have the count to reproduce them on your own without me.
Jim Brady said when he gets home, he knows the feeling when he gets home.
See, Jim lives really close to where he takes lessons with me. So he would just drive to the store and say, Kurt, what the heck did you mean by this? And I was great. I love that. It's great, you know. That way you don't have to wait a week. The videos are great for that too. You know, if you don't get it, you can
Rewind.
Rewind. Yep. Play it really slow.
Slow it down on YouTube.
Well, we're having trouble. Is this video coming out really slow? Yep, buddy. Let's fix it. Okay, now. Sorry. So, shuffle. Now, some people think of shuffle like this. Right? It's still a shuffle style, but it's doing more melodic things. Now, the 12/8 is also sometimes called like a Chicago blues. Shuffle 12/8. All right, so the shuffle. Let's do the C. Let's play a blues. All right, shuffle, blues, or swing. We're going to do C for 4 measures. Kelly's feverishly typing. I'll yell these out. These will be easy.
Oh, you're not going to tell
We're
me
just going to do C, F, and G, or G7. The blues is a subject of a whole nother workshop. Because the blues, we do a 12-bar blues. 4 measures of C, 2 of F, 2 of C, and let's do 2 of G or G7, then back to C for 2.
Okay, I'm not going to type all that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We should know this. Blues, the blues is at the heart of all American music. It started in the Mississippi Deltas and migrated up the Mississippi, country, rock, Chicago, R&B, jazz. Everywhere. It's intertwined with everything. There's going to be a whole nother workshop on that. Ready now. So C. So 2, 3, 4. Do the shuffle. 1, 2, 3. Second measure. Third C. Fourth C. 1 F. 2 measures. 2, 3. 1 more of the F. Back to C.
Oh, I typed
1 more C. Did I go longer? G. 1 more G. Back to C. Measure 11, 12. Again. So 1. Second. Third measure. Fourth. F.
You didn't tell me that.
I know. But it didn't matter, did it? Back to C. G or G7? C. That's the basic 12-bar blues. Like a sounds really cool fast, but you can't count it fast. So you count like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can do that slow, but if it's really fast, you can't count it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, now I'll show you that little shuffle thing I did. So it's called a rockin' fifth strum. That's not in the book or the handouts or nothing. So this is on your own. You'll remember, take a C chord, and this is where I do use my pinky. You probably noticed maybe if I was playing a couple times, I would switch to my pinky right before going to the F or the G7, right? Or the G, even the G, right? So here's the rockin' fifth. We're taking this C chord. The rockin' the fifth part refers to this. The fifth of C is C, D, E, F, G. The fifth of C is G. So here's the G. I'm doing a low G, doesn't matter, low or high. So we're going to rock between the fifth and the sixth. The sixth of C is C, D, E, F, G, A. Here's A, fret 2. So we're going to play 2 beats of the C. Then we're going to take our second finger and put it on the A note on string 4, fret 2, and play that on beat 2. Then take it off for beat 3, then put it back on for beat 4. All right, now in time it'll sound like this. We'll do it slow. You can do this in the straight rock light if you want, or the shuffle. We're going to do shuffle. Really slow, it sounds like a Mosey Cowboy thing. Right? Is Betsy on 2 different computers?
No, I have YouTube on the iPad, so you can
Mosey on down to the, right? Now, this fast, it sounds really cool. F. Now, what about the F? Oh, F. F.
need
F.
better chairs.
Yeah, no, lean forward. Yeah. F. Okay. The fifth of F is C. F, G, A, B, C. This technique will work on simple chords, not all of them, but chances are if you're playing a chord and look at it, you'll see that it's C and not C sharp or C flat. So C is the 5th, 3rd string open for the F chord. So I just want to go to the next letter a whole step up from that 5th. So here's C, up 1/2 step or 1 step, and then go up to D. Now, half steps and whole steps usually refer to
It's a different
scales. Yeah, a step is from one chord scale tone to the next. So C to D is 1 step. Chromatically, and just thinking of music, we can call this a half step. So C, C sharp. So here you go, D. So I'll take my 3rd finger and I'll move my 2nd finger back a little bit to get it in there. So this is F, rocking 5th. Over shoulder. Can't see it. So that's the F. So I have this now.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Did they see that? Yeah, so it's the
So,
F.
yeah. So F with the D note. That's the 6th. The rocking 5th goes from the 5th to the 6th.
Facebook.
Yep. Now,
Did you read that question?
I didn't.
When playing the 5th, did the 4th finger stay on the C?
Yes, you can on the C chord. On the F chord, you can. On the C, when I was doing the 5th, you kept it there. And on the F, this is the F chord. You can, my C, it looked like I had a C on F, but I just keep my fingers closed. But if you did put your pinky on C for the F chord, you still have F, because an F chord is FAC. So like, it's hard to do though. When you do this really quick, it's sort of like a pat your head, rub your belly moment, and you'll mess it up switching. Now, so the G7, the 5th of G is D, G, A, B, C, D. So the next letter is E. So I got to get an E in here. Here it is. I'm not going to be able to do that. Can't stretch that far. So rocking 5th on the G7 won't really work. It will work on the G chord though. I'll take my pinky and get that. So
Not the way I play it though.
yeah, you might not. Kelly does a wacky fingering. I keep trying to fix it.
I teach it the right way, but if I'm playing fast,
Yeah.
I need to do my bad habit.
Some people will say there's no right way or wrong way to play chords. That's
But
probably true, but
efficient.
there is efficient, low maintenance ways to do chords. And chord fingering does depend on what's coming next and trying to get right behind the frets for all the notes. So F, we did F7. We have an E in here. So we actually got rid of our ability to take the C into D. We'd have to do. So it can work on some 7th chords in the open position, but not all of them. The C7, it will work on the C7. Right? C, C it works, C, G it works, G7 is really hard. You'd have to do a different one. F works. F7 doesn't really work. So real quick review. We have rock heavy, rock light. We have 12/8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We have shuffle. We did shuffle with the rock and fist. Right? We did sustained strums. There's a lot in here, a lot in 1 hour, right? Man. STRUM. Strings tickled repeatedly. Undulating for.
Strum acronym.
Right on, Tim. We're going to order them strings for you for your guitar alley.
Yeah, I emailed Kala. I haven't heard
Yeah.
back.
All right, this is it. We look it up. We got like 1 minute to go, right?
Yeah, look at
We're
that.
done. Half hour down the tubes. Nice. So
Could
strum.
be an hour down.
Yeah, half hour.
Hour down.
Whew.
Hour
Time
down.
warp. The execution of a rhythmic pattern in tempo in a particular style. That's a strum. Keywords: rhythm,
Wonder if they can hear
pattern,
our stomach growling.
style, tempo. Yeah. I'd like to read the comments. Huh?
So remember, as my son would say,
Yeah. Hit the like.
yeah,
Thumbs up. Right?
I forget it all. Subscribe.
Yeah,
We need
TJ.
TJ. Subscribe.
Hey,
Hit
TJ, where
hit
you
the
at?
bell for notifications, I think.
Yeah,
I don't
right, the
know.
notifications,
There's so much
yeah.
to do. We need YouTube University.
Yeah, they ask a 10-year-old
Thank
for
you
this
all
spiel.
for attending.
Thanks very much. Nice comments.
Yes. You got my message?
No, yes.
We,
yes.
we want to
We
know
need
what
your-
we're supposed
your
to do.
exit line.
Hit the
Your
like. What is it?
Exit line.
Remember that what?
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
No,
Slow
do
down.
it slow. Do it
Slow down.
slow.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode.
So you never miss an episode.
Never miss an episode.
There we go.
Jeez.
This is what. So
The student has become
good day. Welcome, and that's the end of the Funky Frets reality show.
He said the students become the master.
My
Thanks,
job is to
everybody.
put myself out of business as far as teaching everybody, which probably won't happen, but that's okay.
All right.
Right now,
see
we're out of
you,
business teaching a lot of them because of the.
Yeah, because of the virus. Stay
Yeah,
home,
we-
stay safe, and we'll see you next
Yeah,
weekend.
right, yeah, we'll do more strums. There's more strums, more finger picking, and we'll come up with some other stuff too.
Bye.
See ya. Adios. Jeez, I guess that went pretty good.